Thank you, sir. Uh, Now, introduction of chief guest, Sri E.S. Chakravarti, Global Resource Management Head, Tata Consultancy Services, Bangalore. I request Mr. Anbalagan Heroji, Head Training and Placement Department, to introduce the chief guest.
It's my honor to introduce the chief guest of today's event, Mr. E.S. Chakravarti, Global Head, Resource Management Group. Mr. Chakravarti has master's degree in computers from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, and bachelor's degree in electronics and communication from Andhra University, Andhra Pradesh. In his current role as a global head, he is responsible for overall growth and resource requirement of all the projects globally. In addition to this role, he is also the Center Manager, Bangalore, Center Head Bangalore, responsible for overall growth, operating cost management, and customer relations. He joined TCS in the year 1997 as a trainee engineer as part of the campus placements at PSG College of Technology. Earlier to the current leadership role, he held series of roles in TCS in delivery, sales, corporate functions, and human resource management. In his previous role, he owned global staffing responsibility for various TCS industry segments and banking, insurance, and high-tech, along with the TCS product wing. He also headed end-to-end staffing portfolio for the second largest region of TCS in India, that is TCS Bangalore. Just a while, he just mentioned close to a lakh of people in Karnataka. He has created a job opportunity in TCS. I think that's his, work in the last couple of days, 15 years. He is very passionate about growth and has a proven track record in driving growth for the region. In his long years of association with TCS, he has served many TCS global customers such as Nautal Labs, Lucent Technology, Teleglobe, and Avaya. During his career in TCS, he championed several TCS initiatives and methodologies in the field of business excellence, sales and delivery, TQMS, and human resource management. In his career, he made diverse contributions to the world of HR practice, world of academics, and also leveraged these experiences to make contributions to the larger industry fraternity. In his words, having high passions to perform, setting high goals and objectives, and delivering those in style is what TCS taught me during my last 21 years of successful tenure. Unquote. Mr. Chakravarti has been honored with Chanakya Award for the year 2013 for Business Excellence in HR by Public Relationship Council of India for his outstanding contributions to profession, industry, and society. Mr. Chakravarti has been honored as a member on National Social Security Board under the chairmanship of Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment under the section representing eminent persons from civil society. Above all, Mr. Chakravarti is a great human being, is very passionate, inspirational, and prolific speaker, especially on success mantra for students both professionally, personally. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our chief guest, Mr. Chakravarti. Sir.
Jai Shri Gurudev. My sincere wishes and greetings to all the teachers who are here today, who made us what we are in this world. My sincere greetings to them. And my sincere pranams to Swamiji. SIT is a great source of inspiration, is a great source of motivation, even for us at TCS. Boys and girls, and my dear parents, a very, very good morning. It is always a pleasure to be with SIT Tumkur, the most trusted academic partner of TCS in the state of Karnataka. I again quote SIT Tumkur, the most trusted academic partner of TCS in the state of Karnataka. Before I go any further, congratulations for securing your admission at this great institution, SIT. On this nice occasion, let me blend my experiences and my views and the learnings I went through in my life for the past 21 years post my education in this great organization, TCS. And on this occasion, let me cover my inputs in 3 important segments. Number 1, what is the purpose of education in this country? Let me make you understand the real purpose of education. The second important segment I love to address today is why engineering education became so successful in this country. And the third one is, what is that you need to do for the next 4 years and 5 years of your stay in this great institution? So number 1, the purpose of education. Number 2, why engineering became so successful as an education stream. And number 3, what is in front of you for the next 4 years and 5 years of your education in this great institution. Boys and girls, just have some patience in listening to me. I met several people in my life, and I am very fortunate to undergo my first education in a Gurukul Pathashala in Sanskrit. Later got into convent education, went through my engineering and masters in various institutions, and last 21 years got an opportunity to exchange my views and ideas and impressions with very, very eminent academicians, and some of them are in the stage. When I said SIT is an inspiration to TCS, when I said SIT is a motivation to TCS, I am telling you, Channabaswappa sir is an inspiration to me and a motivation to me. These are the people who inspire us every day, even at that age, by showing their commitment and dedication to the academia of this great country. And hence I said, SIT Tumkur, along with Shivkumar sir, eminent people. One thing I don't see any change is the faces of faculty in SIT whenever I visit. And I'm visiting this college from 2001 onwards. My relationship with this academic institution is 1.5 decades. And that is the commitment that we have between SIT and TCS. So with all these experiences, I also learned something in my life to make you understand what is the purpose of real education. The real purpose of education is to get you 4 things. Please listen to me carefully. Number 1, the education gives you and makes you a confident individual. And that is the first outcome of education. Education must make us confident individuals. The reason why I speak with tremendous amount of confidence in front of you is the education that was given to me in Namma India makes me confident every day. And that is the first outcome of education in this country. The second outcome of education is to make you and make me, for that matter, an active contributor. In everything that we do, how can we become active contributors? When I go to a classroom, how can I be an active contributor? When I play a small cricket match competing with the next set of teams, how can I become an active contributor? When I go back to my village, how can I be a good active contributor? Once I join TCS, how can I be an active contributor? Whatever we do, whatever we say, at the end of the day, education makes us an active contributor, and that starts from tomorrow in the classroom that you go through. The third important outcome of education, very, very important for engineering students to underline this particular statement. the real outcome of education is to make you a self-learner and a self-directed learner. Boys and girls, the traditional teaching in education makes you only get 10% to 20% of the knowledge. But rest of the 80% of the learning, both in academia and the life, as a person, comes from self-learning and self-directed learner. And that is the most important outcome of education, making you a self-learner and a self-directed learner. I'll differentiate these two things. What to learn, when to learn, why to learn, and how to learn, and where to learn must be you as an individual. And that is the outcome of education, making us self-learners and self-directed learners. And the fourth one is very, very powerful. This is my favorite outcome of education. I said number 1, confidence, and number 2, contribution, and number 3, learning, and the fourth one is very, very important, and I am sure institutions like SIT Tumkur will play a very, very important and critical role. And this is the true purpose of education. But most of the educational institutions forgot this over a period of time. It's called as C-Cube. Concerned civic citizen of India. Education must make us a concerned civic citizen of India. What is something what I can do for the society I belong to? Being an educated person must be the outcome of education, which makes you and me a good citizens of this great Nama India. And that is the fourth outcome of education. So boys and girls, make your priorities right and set your goals right. Ensure that you define your targets in the right way. And make sure that once you are done with the 4 years of engineering education from this great institution, you proudly say, I belong to SIT Tumkur because I am a confident individual and I am an active contributor and I know what to learn, how to learn, when to learn and where to learn, and I am a self-learner. And the last one is, I am the citizen who is needed for this great country, India. And these are the 4 outcomes of education in this country. I am sure I am very, very clear, for that matter, crystal clear on the outcomes of education. The second point would I love to touch today with all these young boys and girls. Why engineering education became so successful education stream in the country, for that matter across the globe. Lot of opportunities for engineering students. Phenomenal opportunities once you are done with engineering education. So many opportunities around you once you are done with technical education in this world, or for that matter in this country. Because technology is playing a very, very important role in human life. Whether you like it or not, technology is the means for the human life in the future. I'll give a simple mathematical equation for you in plain English. The divine has given us the nature. Nature gave us the science. Science gave us technology. Technology gave us solutions. Solutions gave us comfort. And comfort gave us happiness. And the prime job of a human being is to pursue happiness, happiness, happiness. And hence, technology is playing a very, very important role in making the human being pursue happiness. And hence, there is no end to the technology as long as human race exists. And that is the power of technology. Can you imagine to go to a bank and get your 100 rupees note from the college bank that you used to go 2 decades back and 3 decades back? We normally don't even visit a bank to do our transactions, the power of technology. At some point of time, people used to talk about safety in the cars. And today we are talking about autonomous cars getting into our life. And people are talking about selfless drivers in the cars. People are talking about connected cars. And finally, people are talking about driverless cars, and that is the power of technology. Look at any field that you belong to. Everything is driven by technology. And you are the future pioneers of the technology. You are the future founders of the technology. And you are the future creators of the technology. And hence, amazing amount of opportunities once you are done with technology in this great country. One of the parents came and spoke about architecture. The first person who spoke, his what got into architecture. Let me give an example. Till last few years, we always felt if we want to construct a city or a town or a building, we need to go and pray for the Mother Earth. And these days, if any of the proof of concepts or technology trends we read as part of architecture and civil engineering, people are talking about floating cities, floating villages, and the time has come where we need to pray the water to give us the strength to construct a building on the water, which is called as a floating village or a floating city or a floating town, and for that matter, your floating house in the future. And that is the power of technology, what we are seeing. I don't know how many of you people know about having shock absorbers for buildings. I still remember when my dad brought a scooter, I got exposed to shock absorber in a two-wheeler. Today, people are talking about shock absorbers for buildings, and that is the power of technology, and civil engineering students are behind it. Everything that you see, technology is playing a very, very important role. In fact, I recently visited to my village because my dad is a doctor there and he practices medicine, and quite frequently I go to my village. And I've seen my fellow families, how agriculture got transformed because of technology. Every stage of the crop, they take photographs using a simple mobile phone, and they broadcast those photographs to the nearest agricultural based community where we have all these government officers, etc., etc. And they get tips in the local language by mobile phone. And that is the concept of what is technology. I'll also keep one more very good example. There's a technology that TCS itself has deployed on the seashore of southern part of India, where the fisherman gets all the updates on the weather, all the timings when they need to go into sea for fishing, and also to which place of the water, if they go, they get the maximum fish. And what kind of fish is available at what spot of the ocean is something what gets broadcasted by technology to the fisherman in their own language. And that is the power of technology, boys and girls. Everywhere, technology is playing a very important role, and hence, enormous amount of opportunities. And before I conclude on this particular statement or particular views, let me also make you understand where is the industry heading for. We have seen Industry 1.0, and today we have Industry 4.0. As engineering students, you must understand what is the difference between Industry 1.0 to Industry 4.0, for that matter, including my fellow teachers. When I say my fellow teachers, because I also used to teach in some of the institutions as a visiting faculty, and hence I always connect with the professors to say, sir, I also belong to your community. Industry 1.0 is all to do with mechanization. I don't know how many of you people read this in the past. The source of mechanization is water, the water power. We have seen enormous amount of power in the water, and we have created steam out of it, and we used to go after mechanization by using steam as a source of energy of mechanization. And that is Industry 1.0. I'm sure students will definitely understand where I'm coming from, and more than the teachers. Number 2, Industry 2.0. So from mechanization, we got into Industry 2.0, which is called as mass production. So this country across the globe, started manufacturing in mass scales. And that is what we have seen as part of Industry 2.0, all to do with manufacturing. Mechanization is manufacturing. Mass production is manufacturing. And that is the reason whenever I go to colleges, I say, mechanical students, mighty students. You guys gave us the life through mechanization and through manufacturing. Industry 3.0 is completely different. Industry 3.0 is because of the birth of the transistor in this world. In 1947, I don't know whether you guys remember the year, the first transistor was born in 1947, and that is the time we started thinking of digital across the globe, electronics across the globe. Transistor is the mother of electronics and automation as part of Industry 3.0, and we got into computers as part of Industry 3.0. Electronics and communications, computer science, all these people played a very, very important role in the transformation from Industry 2.0 to Industry 3.0. And now what we are seeing is Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 is all to do with the human power, the human talent, and the human's potential is nothing but cyber systems, IoT, machine language, artificial intelligence, whatnot. And this is what is the opportunity for engineering students. We are in the Industry 4.0, which is throwing tremendous amount of opportunities in every segment that we belong to. Computer science. Just close your eyes and try to imagine how National Stock Exchange works. Every day, the reason behind it is IT systems and cyber systems. Just close your eyes and introspect how Facebook operates. I know some of the parents don't like Facebook, but I learn a lot from Facebook. One thing I want to tell you guys, technology gives you good and bad. Ignore bad and don't try bad, but go after good. I learn every day from Facebook. I am very proud to say that I learned from Facebook. Why not? It is a group of people coming together and sharing their feelings, sharing their learnings, sharing their thoughts, sharing their views. Why Facebook is not liked by anybody if you do it right way? What is the concept of Facebook? What engine makes Facebook run every day? What logic they have created before the Facebook? What kind of data structures got deployed in Facebook? What kind of algorithms got created to run Facebook? Just introspect for 2 hours on the functioning of Facebook. You understand the kind of opportunities you have. 1973. I don't know how many of you people know. The first mobile phone call was made. Martin Cooper is my role model. He's my God. Being a BTech electronics and communications engineer, Martin Cooper is the first person who made the first cell phone call in 1972 and 1973. Exactly the year I was born in 1972. Everybody felt a mobile phone is to make a call. And maximum people felt a mobile phone is to communicate by voice or by text. But there is a great gentleman who got in between and created a phenomenal phone for all of us in 2006 and 2017, which is called as iPhone. Till that point of time, technology thought mobile phone is only to make a call and to exchange SMS. But this gentleman, who is the role model, who is the God for many technical people across the globe, said, I can make mobile phone a personal device. Why only calls? Why only SMS? Why not photographs? Why not online transactions? Why not playing games? Why not becoming a personal device? Look at the way the phone has been transformed so far. I don't know how many of you people saw Apple ads in the huge hoardings. I get very surprised because most of the Apple advertisements position Apple iPhone as a camera phone rather than actual phone, right? So you always see the huge hoardings. This photograph is captured by iPhone 6.0 or whatever it may be the versions, right? So that is the power of technology. A telephone became a personal device, and that just happened in the last 10 years of our existence. I gave enormous amount of examples to make you understand the power of technology and the kind of opportunities technology is creating. Amazing opportunities, boys and girls. Finish your engineering education. You can realize all these opportunities in front of you. I'm done with the second, what is that, input what I would like to give you. Number one, I spoke about purpose of education. And number two, I spoke about the opportunities once you are done with engineering education. Never ever forget, technology gives you solutions as a human being, and as a human being, from those solutions you get the comfort, and from that comfort happiness gets created, and as long as human being exists, technology exists along with the human being. Now my last point. What is that you need to do as part of your next 4 years engineering education? Shivkumar sir, I'm sure you don't mind if I take 5 to 10 minutes more. And I always say, SIT gives me what I want, what we want from TCS. This is the most important topic of the day. What is that you need to do as children? What is that you need to do as kids? By the way, I can feel the environment of SIT. I have 2 little kids in my home. Sometimes when I get an opportunity, not by choice, by force, I spend some time. 2 kids. If I go beyond 15 minutes, they say, Dad, it's okay. But here the students of SIT, I'm sure I can go for more time because the environment makes you much more humble. This environment makes you much more obedient. And this environment makes you a much more human. So please bear with me, because today is a very, very important day for success of your life. And I'm sure you will see me many more times in this campus as part of my regular visits to SIT. I'll try to make it as many number of times as possible in the coming future. So what is that you need to do for the next 4 years? I have 3 simple things to tell you. It's called as 3 apples. In our kindergarten, right, we started our learning, A for apple, B for boy, C for cat. So let me go back to the fundamentals where we came from. So 3 apples I love to give you. The first A stands for application. Please underline this. What do you mean by application? Before that, you guys are done with your 10+2. And you are getting into engineering education, into technology education. Let me make you understand, this is the time where people gets confused in engineering education. You must understand what is the difference between your older education, which you did so far till 10+2, and what is the newer education, which you are stepping into SIT Tumkur. In our country, till 10+2, the education is science education. And today, you are going to start your technology education. You have to understand the basic difference between science education and technology education, boys and girls. Science education is reading, reading, reading. Technology education is solving, solving, solving. Science education is information. Technology education is problem statements. Science education is knowing, and technology education is doing. Please get that difference between science education and engineering education. Engineering education is to do with applying the fundamentals of engineering education and trying to solve as many problems as possible. In the next 4 years is the essence of engineering education. And hence the first apple is application. Apply every fundamental that gets taught in the classroom into your lab. Apply every subject, every methodology that gets taught into a mini project. Pick up as many problem statements as possible. You know the most important part of the chapter? Once you are done with the chapter, the last 1 page of problem statements should be your everyday target. problem solving is your target, and that is the essence of engineering education. Don't continue to be a science student by going through literature after literature after literature. That is important. After you go through the literature, after you go through the classroom, your hunger has to be, how many problems I can solve today as part of my software engineering? If somebody teaches you data structures, how many problem statements I can solve by applying the basics of data structures? If somebody talks about engineering mechanics, beautiful problem statements are there in the textbooks and the library that you belong to. How many problem statements you can solve by the time you are done with the engineering education, especially in that particular semester of engineering mechanics. Every subject is very important, and every subject gives you some input towards your career of engineering education. So boys and girls, my apple for you is applying the fundamentals on problem solving. I'll give one more target for you, because life is combination of targets and going after them. When I go to the resumes of engineering students, I see one important column in the resume. Normally people see your bachelor's degree score or master's degree score or 10th standard score or intermediate score or a BSc score, etc., etc. But whenever I see any resumes in the market, I go to an important column which is called as hobbies. I have a small request. When I see hobbies, I see music, I see dance, I see reading, I see cooking. Of course, some of the girls love to put cooking as one important, what is that, hobby. I wish. And I have seen some boys keeping as eating also. That's okay. Which I do. I want a very, very powerful entry into that hobby. Problem solving as my hobby. That is what is the purpose of engineering education. Make sure that problem solving comes as a hobby to you as an engineering student. Challenge your professors, challenge the academic community advisors. Give us problem statements. Give us problem statements. We want to solve them. Must be the mantra of engineering education. That only makes you a solid engineer once you are done with 4 years of your engineering education. My dear boys and girls, solve as many problems as possible, which I call it as application of engineering fundamentals to solve problems. First apple is done, bite it. The second apple, thank you. The second apple that you need to bite, A for articulation. Especially the technology industry is global in nature. And one of the students, she spoke very well. Can both the students rise, please? I want to see your faces one more time. Thank you so much for being so nice and giving your insights of this college. But next time, tell your junior batch that they need to speak without a paper in the hand. And that is what is the quality of SIT. Demonstrate the quality of SIT, right? And those are the examples of language. And she mentioned in one of the instances that some organization came here and recruited a person with 14.0 lakhs CTC. Why companies are coming and giving so much of value to talent? Because you guys are problem solvers, and you also know how to communicate your ideas, your views, your intelligence, and your knowledge. And that is something which I like all of you to take it very seriously. Articulation, communication skills is very, very key, because the opportunities are global and the language has to be global. I respect my mother tongue. Absolutely no doubts, no questions. Mother tongue is for living, and foreign language is also for living. In fact, I try to say mother tongue is the life and foreign language is the living. Why not learn English? Normally when we say CSE, Computer Science Engineering, in academia, but CSE stands for me, Chinese Mandarin, S stands for Spanish, and E stands for English. 70% of the world's population belongs to one of these three languages. And especially in technical industry, the E is very powerful, English. Pick up the language of English, very, very important. And the only solution to pick up the language of English is practice, practice, and practice. Boys and girls, I belong to a small Gurukul Patashala till my 8th standard, and my medium of teaching is Sanskrit. I still remember the phenomenal knowledge and competencies we gained in that school. 95% of my success I attribute to that small Gurukul Patashala where I went for education. It taught us what is the importance of local language and also foreign language. Very important. Pick up the language of English. Today I am able to speak in front of you. You are much more talented than me, much more capable than me, and you have much more learning avenues than any of us in the past. So learning English is just practicing. So once you pick up this language of English, you need to gain 3 important levels of communication. Number 1, first become a communicator. Good. Number 2, become an articulator. Number 3, become a narrator. Storytelling. And that is the highest level of articulation or communication. You can do it. Sometimes the way you keep stories to your father and mother, you can do some more storytelling in your life. What happened to your 1,000 rupees that I gave last month? You have 1 million stories to tell father and mother, right? We are a phenomenal narrators of storytelling. Same thing I am asking you to do in English. Very important. Especially students from rural engineering institutions and students from rural colleges, and especially the students from rural education background. Please focus a lot on communication skills, which I say, become a communicator, then become an articulator, and then become a narrator. And this is something which you need to do and go after. And that is the second apple. Please bite it every day. That is articulation. The third apple is very powerful for me. The third apple, A, stands for attitude. You have to nurture a right attitude for yourself to become a successful in both professional life and personal life. And SIT, colleges like SIT, institutions like SIT will play a very, very important and critical role in creating and nurturing your attitude. Technology, you'll get in many colleges. Communication, you get in many colleges. But very few colleges nurtures the attitude of an individual. And of course, with the blessings of Swamiji. I am sharing my personal experience before I get into this third apple. Don't record me and don't say anywhere. I was never scared of my boss in my life. All TCS guys, don't quote me, okay? And don't record it. There are a couple of people whom I was very, very scared of. Of course, one is my mother. The second is my teacher. And the third one is Swamiji at the Mutt. I don't know, sir. Shivkumar, sir, I mentioned this to both of you. Whenever I go and touch his feet a couple of times and take his blessings, he'll ask me 2-3 very fundamental questions. Number 1, what are the new trends of technology? And he has all the information. He would have gone to Hindu paper or some other paper a couple of days back, and he's expecting me to tell the right answer from that newspaper because he has the idea of what's happening in technology. Second thing is, he used to say, Shivkumar sir and Channabaswappa sir wants to increase the seats in SIT Tumkur. What is your opinion? And that is the toughest question to answer, because if I say yes, I am not doing justice, because the quality will get diluted. If I say no, these two gentlemen will become upset on me. Why are you stopping Swamiji to enhance engineering institution? Very, very tough questions he used to ask. A legendary human being, as a disciple, as a channel, as a motivator, as an achiever for all of us to replicate some of his good behaviors. That is attitude. One more very interesting person I met in the same institution, the best example of attitude. You might call him as a missile man. You might call him as a great technologist. Dr. Abdul Kalam sir. Sir, we still remember, we spent a couple of minutes. I learned what is attitude from him. Attitude of being humble. Attitude of loving Mother India. Attitude of trusting the human race. The legendary person, Abdul Kalam. I met him in this college. First time I felt from my heart what is an attitude that we need to create for ourselves. Amazing people are around SIT. Amazing people are connected with SIT. Nurturing the right attitude is not a problem for SIT. It's a problem and a challenge for many other institutions. So coming back to the attitude, I'll give you only 3 examples of attitude which you need to practice going forward, which you need to nurture going forward. Number 1, attitude of defining targets and going after them. Very, very important. Every semester have a target. Go after it. Achieve it. Every year of engineering education, couple of targets. Go after it and achieve it. And the only source of inspiration I can tell you from the literature, what Vivekananda sir said, arise, awake, stop not until the goals are achieved. That should become an inspiration mantra for you. Every year, every semester, every subject, define a target. And I am telling you, today once we are done with this inaugurational ceremony, please promise your parents and teachers that my target for the first year is, second year is, third year is, and fourth year is 100% attendance in the classroom. And that is the first target you need to define. And once we are done with this inaugural ceremony, please promise your parents and tell them, my target for the first year and second year, third year and fourth year is 80% aggregate. Promise them, second promise. And third promise, mom and dad, I love you. I will at least solve 100 problems per year is the promise you give to them. I'm telling you, see the power of engineering education afterwards, right? So this is what is the attitude that you need to build. Creating targets, going after targets, and making sure that you meet every target must be your attitude. Number 2, attitude of passion. And this is something I love to have all of you to acquire, to nurture. Bhagavad Gita said very popular statement. I have a good habit of, some habit of referring to literature. Bhagavad Gita made a phenomenal statement. Karma plus vikarma is equal to akarma. Do a lot of hard work. It's called as hard work. But you do a lot of hard work with your heart enjoying, with your heart feeling the joy. The hard work is equivalent to no work. Go after it. Put your heart and read the subject. Put your heart and solve the problem. To the extent when you say, good morning teacher, attach your heart in that particular statement. When you clap, clap with your heart. When you learn, learn with your heart. When you say something, say with your heart. When you give a hug, give it with heart. And when you say, mom, I love you, show your heart in every statement. And that is the attitude of passion. And the third attitude, and I am done, which is very, very important for engineering students, is innovation. The difference between a good engineer and a great engineer is innovation. Innovation is being different and doing different things. Your thought process has to be a bit different from the rest of the people. The way you solve problems must be different from the rest of the people. The kind of ideas you navigate must be different from the rest of the people. Bring that attitude of being something different in everything that you do. And innovation is captured in two simple sentences: doing things differently and doing different things. That's all. The difference between a good engineer and a great engineer. And that must be your attitude towards your education. Attitude of being something different from rest of the people. So boys and girls, the third apple I gave you is attitude. Bite it. Bite it to enhance your passion. Eat it to get the attitude right with respect to targets. And enjoy it by ensuring that the third one, what I mentioned. Very, very important. Attitude plays a very, very important role, and innovation is at the top of the attitude. Tied up with targets is something very, very important. Thank you so much for giving so wonderful students today. I really admire your discipline, and I wish you all the very, very best for the next 4 years of engineering education in my SIT Tumkur, in our SIT Tumkur. I'm not leaving the dais. You forget what all I said so far. I took around 35 minutes to 40 minutes. Forget it. That's okay. Don't worry. I know you'll forget it. Don't forget the following three. It's my personal inputs to you. So far what I spoke is a representative of TCS and Tata Group, and a representative and a family member of SIT Tumkur. But what I'm saying, these 3 lines, is E.S. Chakravarti on himself. Number 1, wherever you go, whatever you do, keep yourself safe and secured. Very important. My personal advice. Nothing is more important than his life. And you need to secure that life every day. Whatever you do, wherever you go. That is my personal advice. Your family needs you. This college needs you. Your friends needs you. Industry needs you. Every engineer is needed by the society that we belong to. So keep yourself safe and secured. Number 2, a bit contradicting to the first statement. Lose your life, it's okay. Lose your knowledge, it's okay. Lose your parents, it's okay. Sometimes it has to happen. Lose anybody around you, it's okay, it's part of the nature. But never ever lose the character we are known for. Once you lose that character, there is nothing else in life. I'm telling you, boys and girls, I have seen many lives. Once you lose the character, there is nothing else left in life. You may not understand this today, but definitely you will understand my words at a future point of time in your life. Character is the most important thing. Let it make untouched. Number 3, the most precious people of our life is mother, father, and the teacher. Never ever ignore them. Never ever take an opportunity to make them feel a bit low. Forget about bad. What we are today is because of our parents. What we are today is because of these teachers. Somebody took the pain of uplifting us. Somebody has taken the pain of making us what we are today. Show them the high levels of respect. If you cannot respect your parents, your teachers, you can never become a good citizen of the country. Before India treats you with respect, first make sure that you treat your parents and teachers with respect. Forget everything what I said, including your safety and character. But this third one is so important for me in my life, which I would like to mention to you. Parents, teachers are the most precious things. I love to quote. I saw a small Facebook post by an intermediate student. I love to quote that. He wrote a small post in Facebook. It's a saying also. I don't know who said that, but it's a saying, or it's an emotional a writing, a lines of write-up done by some poet or somebody, I don't know. But in Facebook, I saw that particular, statements. He said, today I remember when I go to a temple that in my child days, to see the God, one person used to lift me and put on his shoulders and make me see the God. Today, when I got into intermediate and when I go to the temple, I see a God carrying on his shoulders and making me see one more card. This God is visible, that God is invisible. And that is a statement a student wrote on his father. What else are the lines you need to take the inspiration from an intermediate student who gave that Facebook post to me? And I'm sure a lot of people does seen it in the social media. So thank you so much and have a fantastic time. And my dear parents, don't worry. Sit back and enjoy the experience of SIT Tumkur. And teachers, thank you so much for successfully inducting one more batch of bright students. Trust me, these guys are much more talented than any one of us on the dais. I only have one statement to give you. I read few lines on a teacher. If you are a teacher and you go to the classroom and you teach what you know, you are a teacher. If you go to the classroom and demonstrate what you know, you are a good teacher. But if you go to the classroom and inspire students to learn a subject, you are a great teacher. And I'm sure SIT is a combination of great teachers. Thank you and all the best.
Incredible, fabulous, fantastic, awesome, fantabulous. These are some of the synonyms I could recall from my vocabulary on the speech E.S. Chakravarti sir has made. He has spoken 45 minutes non-stop in putting across vociferously his views on life, the requirements of the current society, many things. It's a speech we will remember for lifetime. Thank you so much for giving such a wonderful, insightful address on this occasion. Now, SIT, it was told already, SIT is a trusted academic partner of TCS. In this regard, TCS has initiated Best Student Award and Best Project Award for the students of SIT. Now I request our training and placement officer to read the names and distribute the prizes.
Yeah. So now I call upon Ms. Kushal Nagaraj. She is the best student for the year 2018 batch. May I request to be here? And I request Mr. Chakravarti, Mr. Ramanujam and the other guests to give away this award, please. By the way, while she is receiving this award, this is the award not just for the academic performance, it is for the overall performance which includes academic, extracurricular and co-curricular activities. Give her a big round of applause for her achievement. By the way, she is from computer science. Giving her a token of appreciation by clapping is always encouraging, and I'm sure some of you from here, 4 years down the line, needs to come here and take it up. The next best project award, like Mr. Chakravarti said, application is the key for engineering purpose. And we have a project on production of gamma aminobutyric acid from bio-waste. This project reduces the cost of production and made available to the society at a cheaper rate. This is done by 2 girls. They are, may I request Kavya and Nandini to come on the dais to receive this Best Project Award from TCS. Both of them are from biotechnology stream. Both of them, give them a big round of applause, please.
Thank you, sir, for giving the TCS awards. Now we have one more award. Natesh M. Bhatt. He has been awarded with SIT scholarship for meritorious performance. He has secured CET ranking of 833 and he has consistently maintained CGPA of over 9.5. And SIT has a policy of awarding such of the students with a scholarship of amount equal to tuition fee. So this year, he has bagged a tuition fee worth of 55,000 rupees. He has scholarship. So thank you, sir, for distributing the prizes. Now, the felicitation to our beloved chief guest, E.S. Chakravarti, sir. I request all the dignitaries to felicitate Chakravarti, sir. Speech by our chief guest, Sri T.K. Nanjundappa sir, Honorable Secretary, Sri Siddhaganga Education Society.